Yeah, so I am here saving this file with this name, save as, and calculator test src test java pranodai d. Here I am saving this file, right? So I have just changed the name of the class, nothing else, and I'll just delete this one. I'll delete so that I have two test case java files for our library: test addition function, test subtraction, right? So these are the unit test cases written, and we are managing the end-to-end build life cycle of this project using Maven. Okay, we have our POM XML here for our library project. Open with Notepad, and here in this POM XML we have the group ID, artifact ID, and the version. So we are currently working on version 2.0. Now let's release this version again. So what I'll do is I'll continue working on this project from command prompt and this user project using Eclipse, so that you guys will get to know about how to use Maven from outside of an IDE and how to use it from inside an IDE. So like if I continue working on both these projects but in a different way, so both the concepts would be clear, right? So now I'll say cmd, now cls, and I will just change my working directory to my project cd d colon. So I am in my project directory and I will say mvn install, right? So I'll say mvn install. So it will clean the target directory. So cleaning the target directory means this target directory gets cleaned, which has all the compiled codes and jar file created and all, right? So this gets clean. Then the src main java and the application code gets compiled with the compile phase. That is the second phase which the Maven triggers. Then src test java, a test code gets compiled, right? Then the unit testing triggers. So it triggers the unit test cases, and it triggers the Surefire plugin. It triggers the unit test cases, the result of which we can see here in this section of the command prompt, right? And then a package gets created. So package is created, the jar file is created. Here you can see artifact ID and version, both these gets concatenated to create to make the jar name, and it gets installed in our local repository. So on my machine the local repository is on dmaven repo. So we have got a group ID pranodai d folder created, calculator API artifact ID created, version directory 2.0, and here the jar file is installed. So we have installed the library. Now we are going to use it in this project. So for using, what we will do in this project's POM XML, we will refer that here. So I'll just increase a font here, window preferences, general, and I will say appearance. In that appearance, colors and fonts, and here I will go for this basic, and I'll just change the text font here. So text font, edit, and I will just increase it. Okay, right? And over here I will just mention the dependency. Now what is my dependency for this project? The dependency is my library project, isn't it? My library project, the calculator API project, is the dependency for this use calculator. So what I'll do is I will just go to my calculator API projects POM XML to just copy the identification of that project from there. So here in this calculator API project, this is our API project. The POM XML of it, it does contain the identification of it. So I will just copy this identification. The project's identification, when you put it in the dependency tag of some other project, it becomes the dependency of it, right? So I'll just remove this packaging, and you can see the dependency of use calculator is nothing but our calculator API project. So group ID of our calculator API project, artifact ID and version. It is going in the dependency tag for our calculator, use calculator project, right? So as soon as I say Control S, so Maven starts building the class path for my project. So what it does, like it checks the dependency which is mentioned here in this project's POM XML, whether this dependency is present in the local repository or not. How does it check? Let's understand. What is the dependencies group ID, Pranad ID? So the Maven goes to the local repository. So the local repository on my machine is in my Maven repo. So here it will first look for the folder with the group ID, Pranad ID. Then the artifact ID. What is the artifact ID of my dependency? Calculator API. So it goes here, calculator API. What is the version of the dependency I want to use here? 2.0. So it will check, okay, 2.0 is there. Now the jar file over there, it is present. And then it will connect that jar file to this project. You can see here in the Maven dependencies, you will see that jar file is connected. You can see over here. I will show you here. Calculator API 2.0. This is the jar file got connected to my project's class path. Now, if Maven doesn't find this dependency in the local repository, then it goes to the configured central repository. So central repository is the by default MVN repository. This is the central repository. So it goes here, it downloads that dependency into the local repository, and then from there it connects to the project. That is how Maven does the dependency management. Now here what I'll do, I'm just the user, I'm just in the user project. So I'll just simply create a calculator API object equal to new calculator API. So this calculator API is written in the jar file. I have got the import. So this import is coming from the library, guys. This class is written in this our calculator API 2.0. Okay, so I have got that, and I'll simply call my functions there. Addition, which are tested. These functions are implemented, tested, and then released, right? And I'll just send, say, 4,000 and 5,000. This is what my usage of that library which is released. Okay, and I'll say system out.println, and I'm just using that library, right? I'm saying Control S, and I'm simply now running this. This is how you can see the output here. This is how the user project will make use of the Maven. So the user project in its POM XML, it will put our library project as dependency, and when it will put it, it will get the jar file connected to the project. Now let's say we want to release one more version of our calculator API by adding the by adding the division function. So I'll go to the D, Selenium Katras batch, calculator API. This is the project, src main Java. Here I will implement one more function, right? A new version we are working on now of our library, which is division. Division int num1 int num2, and I am just returning the num1 divided by num2, right? And as a developer, when I am adding the new functionality, what I should be doing, I should be adding the new unit test cases for this as well. So I will go to my src test Java. Here we will create a new file. So what I'll do is I'll just simply copy this, Control C, Control V, and I'll just change the name of it. So I'll say test division function. You just save on the type, nothing else. Division function, right? So division function, here I'll just change the name of the class division function, and here we will write few test cases for division. So I'll say test division, with positive numbers. So I will just divide 120. Okay, 120, I'll send 100 divided by 20. We will get the result, and we want to check that whether it is 5 or not. 100 divided by 20. If it is not, if the test case fails, this is what the message we want in our TestNG report. So TestNG, now let's say this is the only test case we want to do with the division. So I'll just remove rest of the test cases. Now this is what the unit testing is done. We have done it like for our division. So I'll just save it, and now what I'll do, I will do a release now. As a developer, I will do a release now. Okay, so calculator API project. So I'll go to the POM XML of my calculator API project here. I will just change the version now. I am releasing the version 3 now. Okay, version 3. I have changed in the POM of the calculator API. I will come to the command prompt. Okay, I am managing the the release of my calculator API from command prompt, and the user project we are doing it from Eclipse, right? So I'm in that directory, project directory, and from here I'll just say mvn install. So what all things it will do now against my calculator API? It will clean the already compiled things. It will compile the implementation. It will compile my source code. It will compile my test code. Like it will compile the whole calculator API project here, like src, main, Java, source code. The new division function addition would be compiled along with all the unit test case classes also would be compiled, right? Then the unit testing would be triggered, where all the test case files, all these 3 test case files would be executed. All the 3 functions would be tested: addition, subtraction, and division. So these 2 would be tested for regression defects, and this one is the this division is the new one, and addition, subtraction are the older functionalities which have been included into the version 2. But while going to the 3 version, we are adding the new functionality. So new functionality is getting tested along with the regression of these 2. And if all functionalities are working fine, then the jar file, a library file with the new version would be created and would also be released by installing it inside the Maven repo, right? So I will just say install. Now you can see the end-to-end life cycle is now getting performed on our library project. Now there is some problem here. Okay, division not working. So it says that division not working, positive number expected 5 but found 80. Okay, I got it. What was the problem? The problem is that I'll show you what is the problem. Let's go to our Selenium Katha's batch calculator API. I got the problem. So there in the test case of the division here, I didn't call the division function. I'm calling the subtraction only, right? So this has to be a call to a division, because that is what we are testing, right? Division. So then division. Okay, but this is how like how it happens. Like if your unit testing fails, then Maven doesn't go with the packaging phase and releasing phase. That's what the main point is, right? CLS. So developer get to know, okay, due to his changes, something is breaking. So he has to go there, debug, fix, and then he should go with the release. So with every change, with every release, you will get your new functionality tested along with the regression. Now you can see previously we were having 5 test cases, 3 for addition, 2 for subtraction. Now we are having 6, the additional one for the division. So all the 6. So from this 6, 1 is for the division, newly added functionality. 5 got executed as a regression. Everything looks fine. Hence we got our calculated 3.0 released. Now I'll just show you that release. You can see here in our local repository, the calculator APIs, group IDs, Pranod ID, artifact IDs, calculator API, and 3.0 version is released. This is the 3.0 version. Now my user project wants to use it. The 3 version he wants to, the project wants to use it. So what it will do, the user project's POM XML in the dependency tag, instead of 2.0, I'll just make it 3. So now the third version of our library would be attached to this project. I'll show you now here. Now calculator API, you can see the calculator API 3.0.jar got connected to this project now, right? Now if I do calculator cal dot, if I say cal dot, I will get my new released function here, right? If I again change my dependency in the POM XML to 2.0, which I can do, okay, let's go here and let's change it to 2.0. As soon as I save it, Maven will build the class path. See here, calculator API 2.0 from the local repository is connected to my project now. I can use any version as long as it is present in my local repository. If it doesn't find it there, so it should find it to some central repository should be configured, so that Maven can go to the central repository, get it to the local repository, and then attach it to the project class path, right? So 2.0. Now when I say 2.0, I won't find that division cal dot. I won't find that division because division is released in version 3.0. 2.0 has only addition, subtraction, not division, right? So this is how you can manage the use of different versions of the libraries you are depending on. So Control S. So as soon as I do Control S, I will get now here cal dot division, right? And I'll just, like, as a user I want to get 2000 divided by 5. So this is my usage of that function, right? So this is how you can manage the end-to-end flow, guys, using Maven, right? So the library developer, he is doing the constant changes, he is doing the unit testing, he is releasing the new version, updating the users that we have the new release now, and you can just, to get that release, you have to just update your POM XML with the latest version of that library, and you will get it, right? So now let's see here. So this is how the user project will make use of the Maven. So what Maven is making use of, like what the user project is making use of Maven is, we are mentioning the dependency of our library, right? The library's version is mentioned, that the identification is mentioned in the POM XML of the user project, and what the library developer is making use of the Maven here, he is automating the whole release life cycle using Maven. As and when he will do any new changes, he will add the new test cases and then he will release. So during the release phases, all the phases would be taken care of, like compilation would be done, unit testing would be done. If all the test cases are passed, then only it will go ahead with the release, right? This is what Maven is for the library developers, and this is what the Maven is for the users. Are you getting my point, guys? Hello?
Hello?
Yes. I have stopped the recording. Yes, Sakshi.
Can I say?
Yes, please. Yes.
So currently I'm totally confused.
Okay.
Right.